Like I want to create an AI customer service bot or role play bot for awkward conversations. Like I have to tell smell bad, right? Which by the way was literally used in one of the leadership principles at Amazon. We tell people if they smell bad, if their smell is offensive. Okay. So the first thing I always do is I think of this as a metacognitive tool, right? Is I I know I don't want to jump to a solution. I need a role player. My mind's starting to go to, okay, what is it I'm trying to solve? Right. So I want to think through that first.
Okay.
And so
So
I
are
have a
you
job.
you like, I'm a manager and I have a difficult time communicating with employees. I hate talking to people about difficult topics. So I have an employee who has an odor problem and I want to role play and come up with a way to talk to this person. This particular person is the type of person that when you talk to them, they just shake their head, yes, but then they don't do anything about it.
So I just type because again, one of my things is abundance mindset and
Mhm.
conversational mindset. So instead of even going through whatever, I just push
Type it
out
out.
and I don't worry about
Mhm.
scripting. One of the
Mhm.
things, by the way, you're seeing I'm using O3, which is a
Mhm.
reasoning model. We could have used 4O, but one of the things we're finding is prompting actually can harm with a reasoning model. Because if you imagine, I want to let you be creative, right? So we want to let it do its thing, not
Mm,
anchor it,
interesting.
right? So I'm trying to get it to think through a problem on its own. And then I'm going to use that and sort of role play. Now up here is a scratch pad. Don't worry about that. That's something I added. But
Mhm.
it's a proper, okay, so it's saying document, private settings, structure. It's giving me a blueprint. Now I could let this keep going and a lot of people will. I can already tell you though, this isn't what I wanted. This is great, but I need
This is
help
just
doing
a bunch of
this.
information.
But that's fine. It's not about the answer. It's about the next question. Now here it says rehearse the script, empathetic body language. Oh, no medical diagnosis. Okay, good. So I'm going to say something rehearsing the script is what I want to do. Can you help me with that? Okay. So and the reason I do it this way is, by the way, even though you're starting with rehearse the script, I want to push and see what other things I'm not thinking about that I could be taking use of.
Right,
Right.
because
Okay.
AI is your assistant and it may have some different things that it's going to share with you. And you can't put your blinders on and give it these directions that are very, very specific. It's better to just let things bubble as you're going through.
So now it's going, okay, here's a cue card. Choose one of these scenarios. When you're ready, you do it. And this, I think, was kind of what you were saying originally.
Yes.
However, I'm smart in that I know I'm not smart. So I'm going to first say this is good or even this is great. I'm curious. Are there other ways that you could help me rehearse? I don't even know what to say. So I'm just going to go, right? Because
Yeah.
again, it's about the next question. It's not about the next answer. Because
Mhm.
what I want to see is I know this and I could do that, but I'm wondering if it's what else can I explore? Right.
I really
So,
like this approach because it's different than the way that I have approached all of us when we start to use Chat GPT. We have a certain mindset. We're searching for information and we're wanting it to give back information, but we're not really thinking about that dialogue, about having it help us
okay.
enhance what we're doing. So this is wonderful.
So now it's saying do enhanced text role play. Why don't you record? We could do transcription. We could do micro drills, right? An AI voice avatar. Now it's starting to give me stuff that's exciting, right? And now is where we have to make another mindset shift and think from an abundance standpoint, meaning usually you'd look at this list and I'm thinking you might say, these are all good. Let's go ahead with it. This AI voice avatar would be really cool. I could use Zoom virtual avatar and we would sort of, but I'm going to push again because I feel like what I'm seeing is still what I used to do. And that's
Right.
not a problem. I'm using this as a metacognitive tool, a mirror, a reflection. And by the way, that's why I always start with the brainstorm. So now I'm going to say, it says you like to combine, and I'm going to say something. I love all of these, right? And my mind is going to, but I feel like we could go further if we created a computer program from scratch, right? If we were to do that, right? What else could we do? Okay. And I'm going to let it think. Now, one of the things that's just popping in my mind right now is there's a lot of research out there on how to have these conversations. And so while this is working, and again, right, that's the cool thing here is I have unlimited folks. Okay. So I'm going to my other area here. I'm going to go to my deep research. Now you can connect deep research to your Gmail and all that, which is nuts. But I'm going to say something. I'm creating a program to help people have difficult conversation. We could have stopped and had the conversation and all that if the time was whatever. But my thought is, I want to use this over and over and over again. I want to make this as good as possible. Then this time, so later I don't have to. So I'm going to say I'm creating a program to help people with difficult conversations, like telling an employee they smell. I'm sure there's a lot of research out there on the best ways to approach this. Can you give me a thorough report that I could provide to my instructional team? Hey, I'm going to give this to my instructional team. It doesn't have to know it's going to be an AI instructional team. So now we're going to let this run. And as you know, this can run for 5, 10, 15, 25 minutes. We could have custom software, a feature buffet. This is all pretty cool. And I don't understand any of this. But again, abundance mindset and good identities. That means that I can hire developers. So now I'm going to say to this is awesome. I'm going to hire a development team to build this out. Give me a dev doc with everything they need to know. I said, I would love all these. I want to go further. It started giving us all this great stuff.
Mhm.
Instant coaching, gamified motivation. Now, by the way, I don't even know yet if this is all going to be possible, but
Yeah.
I don't know how much time we've spent on this. Almost nothing so far. Right.
But
And
it's a
now we're going to,
brainstorming session.
and now we're going to see the value in a minute, because I think some
Mhm.
people might say, oh, I'm wasting, this is all time. It would have been easier to just do my thing. But that's because we need to reset what value is. And so as we're going through this, one of the things that I start thinking of is, what are the things I'm just doing right now that I want to do over again or would want to do over? For instance, this difficult conversation thing, that's cool. But I'm not going to come back to this and keep working through a difficult conversation developer. I might do some work, right? But what might have been valuable here was I started with an idea and we got to a development document. And maybe what I realized is that's something I could save time on, right? I could say next time, hey, I have a problem, name your thing, right? I have a problem with sexual harassment issues and whatever. How could I fix this in this way? And it could automatically get to this. That would be cool because it saves me time on some brainstorming. It doesn't mean I don't have to go through brainstorming again. Now I can jump to seeing the house rather than thinking. And by the way, look how crazy, right, this whole thing is.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's still going. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what all this stuff means. I'll be honest, but I don't have to know. That's what's cool. I'm going to let that finish. Well, let's just see. Okay. So we're still going, which is nuts. Okay. I've loaded a comprehensive thing. Now it's saying to use Codex, which is their new coding program. I'm going to not do that for right now because there are other ways to do vibe coding you've heard about. I think people start to even hear that and they're like, what, So I'm going to go open a new. And again, it's It's a mindset. There's nothing I'm doing here that is technically difficult. It's switching the way you're thinking to do it.
Mhm.
So now I'm going to go here. Replit is one of these vibe coding platforms.
Okay.
And
And
all I'm doing is,
you need to show that.
yep. So
Here
now
we
I'm going here to Replit.
Okay.
And this is one of those vibe coding platforms. And literally all I did is I pasted in, you can see it says pasted difficult. That's because I just pasted in this. I pasted in the entire conversation coach development thing we did, right?
Right.
I'm not even going to type anything in. I'm just going to send that. That's going to work. And while that's working, I'm actually going to go to another one of these sites, Abundance Mindset, and I'm going to do the same exact thing and paste it in here. This is another vibe coding platform. So now I'm going to have two developers working on this problem for me. Okay. They'll build that out. Once it's done, I'll have this research report I can give to it to help fill in information, right? I'm going to go ahead and approve this plan and start. And what's so cool is you're going to see in 30 seconds, we're going to start seeing what this thing is going to look like. And then it's going to start building it. And the way I code it is by talking. There is no coding. And we did stuff like say, oh, put AI into it, do this with avatars, right?
Right.
This will just say, go get the API key. And it's going to help you. And now it's like, instead of saying I have to do something in ChatGPT, I have to do something in Claude, I have to do something, right? I now have a way to access all that, which used to be only stuff developers could do, right? So here's this one, Replit, which is already looking pretty fantastic. Empathy score, current streak, none of this is working yet, but who cares?
It's just a prototype.
I'm seeing it. I'm just looking
Mhm.
at it. And by the
Right.
way, sometimes I'll go through all of this, that AI reset I created. That thing was going to be a full course. And I was hacking away at it. And I realized, you know what? The most valuable thing of this is this little 5-minute exercise. And I'm just going to do that because I can focus on the other stuff later.
There you go.
And now it's building this, like literally. This is just a visual preview, but it's going to start to build it out. And our other one is still working. It is also going to build it out. And I'm saying dashboards, everything. And then you're going to hit deploy and deploy this thing out. And now I could share it. Not only that, but what I love about these now is I can share with you now, and you can chat with this same program at the same time, which reinforces that this is relationship. This isn't optimizing. This is
Mhm.
enhancing creativity. And what you're seeing here, I think, is I just hopped between my development kind of helper, the one who writes my development code, to write a research one to this. And I just talked to 4 teams. And by the way, this is where I would say, I want to do this again. I'm going to say something like, this was really useful. Me starting with a nascent thought at you helping me. I love that all the dots, they're always like, there's too many ellipses. I literally typed like this when you posted that thing on LinkedIn. This is really useful. Me starting with the nascent heart, you helping me get to a development plan that's super comprehensive I can give out. If we were to do this again, what lessons did you learn? What would we do differently? Now I'm asking it to do metacognition in a different way. So I'm switching it and I'm saying, you're essentially now a temp. You're a new hire. What'd you do well? Which is coaching. That's that conversational aspect. So now it's saying this, and I'm going to say something like, and I'm just going to start typing it because I already know this is great. I wanted to start this conversation over from the very beginning, following all the lessons you just pointed out, so we could end up at this dev doc, right? What prompt should I have given you?
Boom.
Which is essentially the same thing as an onboarding doc. We could have said, what are you going to give the person the next day? Okay. It's going to give me this. Now, what you'll notice is usually it's going to say, hey, because we made difficult conversation coach.
Mhm.
Again, don't just trust it. I'm going to say, make this useful for all contexts, not just difficult conversations, right? It's going to do this again. And as you can see, at some point, then now I'm going to have this coach and this is, or this partner. And this is who I will go to when I get to the point, right? And here's the universal starter prompt. And I'm always going to say a couple more, make it better. Are you sure? Just because I'm always pushing.
Mhm.
Let's go back really quickly. And just so you can see, it created a database already for us. Okay. This is now building the app, all the coding. You can see it has something OpenAI there, which means it's going to build in that AI stuff you wanted. And let's go see the other one. See, here's the other one, right? Again. And now what's cool, right? If I could say, make it better, let's continue, refine and customize, right? Let's just try starting the scenario. If any of them work, they don't work yet. So it's saying, oh, I need to connect so I can connect data information. I would do this. And what's cool is I could then choose which one I want to continue working on. Because what did this cost? I think this might have cost, if anything, this cost a quarter, right? And what you're also learning by doing this is what platforms work well for what,
Correct.
because it's not about get the answer, automate the thing. It's about me building my team, like I just saw. And if you were to do this, you would be building them differently. So it's no longer this, right? It's like these concentric circles that are moving. And the best way to think about this is like we have to build a performance. And by the way, that's fun. This is more fun. We created, or we're going to create, and we could keep working on it, right? 2 ideas, visual ideas for a working program that I'm sure if we had gotten to, we could have had audio and stuff working. And even in that process, and by the way, how long, I don't know how long we've been doing this, but it can't be that
No,
too
it's
long.
like 15, 20 minutes.
So the problem is, again, if we just go back and reflect on this, not a problem, but let's reflect on the switch here was we start, and I think as learning and development professionals would do this. We start with saying, here's the solution I want to create. And I know AI, I know solutions. I'm going to merge them together. And I think what this allows us to do is be creative again and go back to instructional systems design and what we always wanted to do and say, hold on, I don't need you to, I mean, the goal here is not to role play conversations. The goal is to have awkward conversations on the floor.
Right.
What is the best way for me to get from here to there? And I think text-based AI, but suddenly I start to see, oh, I could do avatars. I could do a phone call, different scenarios. Maybe there's something eventually in my mind, put in a LinkedIn profile. I mean, we could have gone a million paths, right? And so I think that's what's so cool about this. And by the way, nothing we just did is like point and click here, file, saved. It, everything we just went through, there's no how do I do it, or I'm not using it right, or I don't know how to prompt. All those normal things, they weren't here. Right? What is here? Right? Because now you're thinking, oh, I could go build this. I could do that. I could do a phone call. I could make a phone call that does yada, yada, yada. And now you have a million ideas. And even now you realize when I start piecing through those ideas, it's going to be a conversation. And now you're saying, let's do that. Let's do this. But imagine now the value is not the time spent. The value is in that output, right? Because
This is
eventually you can build something. I'll just share, the sort of things that I think about. Well, we can share them later, but just imagine I was at a golf Yeah, I'll do this just for fun. I was at the Top Golf, right? At training industry. And it was really cool. And we were there and I was thinking, whatever. And someone mentioned, oh, there's all these programs out there that do golf swing analysis, whatever. Right. And immediately my mind goes, I wonder how hard that would be to make. Now, never before would that have thought and gone into my head. Right. But now I'm just curious. I'm just like, and Replit has a phone app. So they're at Golf, right? I start building this app and it doesn't work 100% perfectly, right? But I'll tell you, it's pretty incredible. Let me see if I even have someone's golf swing to upload. But it literally was looking at the videos, right? And pulling this ear. Great, I have one.
Yeah, and I'll just say this completely upends the way that people, especially people in talent development, are utilizing AI now. They're just using it to get content or results. I'm teaching a class right now, and the discussions have been around, okay, I want to use this to help me create a curriculum or other things. That's the mindset that's going to get us replaced in our organizations. Because if we continue to think AI is this churn for content creation rather than how can we use AI to help us be creative, to help us come up with innovative solutions and brainstorm, this is a whole different mindset.
When I just wanted to share last thing is when we talk about tearing down and building up that tear down, right,
Mhm.
that we're going to do, and we talked about mindset shift, this is that tear down. It's not right. It's still not even in the box. It's literally, hey, all those things that you thought were valuable or that you were reinforced to be valuable, that in your heart of hearts, you never really loved doing. We're going to tear those up, burn it, throw it out, mourn. And now it's time to like build it up. So,
Well, I super excited to see what the people in our workshop create. I think we have a variety of different people that are coming with different mindsets. They have different roles. They're different types of companies. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they create and what they come out of the workshop.
and unique and unique
Mhm.
because to my knowledge, I mean, I haven't done it a full day. And as you can see, this is not let me show you a PowerPoint on how to prompt. This is, this is coaching. This is what we used to need to go in person for in facilitation. And so what's ironic here is that actually this is the perfect in-person event to do because that's the sort of change, that's the sort of human change we're going through. So Friday is going to be awesome. I can't wait. And thanks to you for helping me set it up. But I hope we see everyone there. And I know I'll see you there too.
Yeah. And maybe we'll get some other people that think because
Maybe
of this
after
video.
seeing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
If,
exciting.
and someone should send me the next idea to make. We'll start with that.